Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today we are going to look at Bird Dog Whiskey. Now, I'm going to release this video as soon as I'm done editing it. Hopefully in the next week or so, it'll hopefully be the next video that gets released. Doing it in honor of my bird dogs. I had to put my dog down. Let's see, today is January 31st, 2022. Normally today I would have been spending today the last day out chasing huns out on the prairie with my dog here in Wyoming. But my last dog, Paco, she had some kidney failure, started right, the week before Christmas or so. And it was just bad news. She would have been 12 in March. I had her when I lived in North Dakota, Montana, Washington, and here in Wyoming. We hunted all over the place. Before that, when I was 17, my hunting partner had a kennel, and he took me when I was 16 to South Dakota, introduced me to bird hunting, hunting pheasants, all that. I was fortunate enough, and he was kind enough to give me an English pointer, Lacey. Probably the best dog a guy could ever ask for. Growing up, just a sweetheart of a dog, listened incredibly well, hunted incredibly hard, phenomenal. She and I spent 8 years running across the North Dakota prairies, just tearing it up and knocking them down. So loved that. So I've had bird dogs, thanks, and my hunting partner, so thank you, Doug, gave me Paco as well back in 2012. She was 2.5 at the time. And yes, Paco is a boy's name, but whatever. I figured because she did all the hard work, that's what her name was going to be. Anyways, so I had two bird dogs for a little while. Only got to hunt one season with both of them. Retired the older one, Lacey, and made Paco my full-time dog. Hunted hard with her, although in North Dakota we hunted quite a bit. And then for the couple of years I was in Montana and Washington and down in Casper and whatnot, didn't hunt as much. And then when we moved here, we had good pheasant and grouse and huns and grouse up on the mountain. So Paco and I, the last, 4 years, have been tearing it up pretty good. Last year had a couple of issues and potentially could have been leading into the kidney failure that ended up eventually taking over. So this video, as much as it is a whiskey review, is also, to honor both of my dogs. They were great. To thank my hunting partner for giving me both of those dogs and giving me the opportunity to learn a lot and have a lot of fun. 21 years. I've had English pointers for 21 years. It's a little bit weird not having a dog in the house, not having responsibility in the morning to let the dog out and feed them, and you don't really realize how much of your day-to-day activity revolves around a pet until they're gone. So bit of a bummer there. And today, like I said, is the last day of hunting season, so didn't really get to hunt in January at all. Paco kind of started going down the week before Christmas. We hunted one last time. And unfortunately wasn't able to knock any birds down for her. But as she was kind of going downhill and I wasn't hunting, I was able to go a couple places where she could stick her nose out the truck window. A couple of pheasants in the ditch she was able to get excited about in her last couple of days. So that was kind of nice. Anyways, I do have a picture. I got two pictures I want to share real quick, and then we'll get into to whiskey here. But this, let's see, can we see? Boy, unfortunately, you probably can't see that all that great. There, that is, let's see, if you're looking at this, that is Lacey on the left and Paco on the right. Those are my two pups there. Let's see, in this picture, Lacey would have been 14 and Paco would have been maybe 8, 7, something like that. And I know it's a bit grainy because it's a picture that I took of my computer screen with my dogs on it. And I know this doesn't mean anything to any of you people, but because I own the channel and I'm nobody's paying me anything, you can either watch with me and endure or not, and that's fine too. This is the last picture of me and Paco. And actually, I'm wearing the same shirt I'm wearing right now, oddly enough. And about an hour after this photo was taken, we went to the vet and put her down, which is unfortunate. But, those are my dogs. And so I was going through, so to bring it back to whiskey, I was going through the store. Now, my hunting partner has had Bird Dog before and keeps mentioning it and, telling me how good it is and stuff. And I have not seen it anywhere around here, with the exception of the flavored stuff. I think that's more what they're known for, is like their peach and caramel and whatever else flavored stuff. I personally not big on diving into that, although I do have a Jameson cold brew here that we'll look at eventually. So I saw this, and it's like a gift box set kind of a thing, and it's the first I'd seen it anywhere around, so I bought it. I paid hold on just a second, let me get this right. I paid $18 even for this gift set, and what it is, it's a $7.50 and then two 50 ml bottles. So it's a $7.50 of the Bird Dog Kentucky Straight Bourbon at 42%, and then there's two 50 ml bottles in here of their straight bourbon small batch, which is 7 years old. And if you look on the box here, it shows 7 years old, and that's what got my attention when I bought this, is this 7-year-old insignia on there, thinking that, I got some good 7-year-old whiskey. Well, it turns out that just these two 50 ml bottles are the 7-year-old whiskey. Once again, boy, I need to start paying attention just a little bit more when I buy whiskey, because that's several times now that I've gotten taken thinking I was buying something, but then it ended up not being what I thought I was buying. So, oh well, shucks be darned to me. But in honor of my bird dog here, my bird dogs, both of them, and 21 years of good times, great memories. Let's see, with my first dog, Lacey, I hunted North Dakota. I started in Wisconsin. I hunted northern Wisconsin, hunted grouse, hunted southern Wisconsin for pheasants and woodcock. Hunted South Dakota. In fact, my 18th birthday, my hunting partner couldn't go, and so my dog Lacey was only 2 years old at the time, or she was just coming up on 2 years old. And so she and I went for 4 days, and she was on the ground from sun up to sundown for 4 days straight, just the two of us. I just beat her into the ground, man, because she didn't eat a lot, unfortunately. She was kind of an odd dog where she wouldn't eat unless you were standing right there with her. She was like that her entire life. And for some reason, when we went out hunting, she didn't eat a whole lot during that whole trip, no matter what I did to try and get her to eat. So she was running herself down. And man, I got home, and my mom thought she was, I'd killed my dog because she was so worn out. She slept for like 2 days straight. But great dog, and we found lots of birds. So we hunted South Dakota. Hunted central South Dakota for prairie chickens, moved to North Dakota, hunted in North Dakota, all over the place, all over. And where else did we hunt? Hunted Illinois. that might be about it for that dog. And then Paco, we hunted North Dakota. We never did hunt South Dakota. Wyoming, Montana, Washington, and I never hunted in Idaho, but when we were living in Spokane, briefly, because I didn't really have much that I wanted to do in Washington, and Idaho was right there. We'd quick run out to the mountains and go run some grouse around in the mountains. I didn't hunt at all, but still let her go run around and chase birds. So yeah, got around, got all over the place, had a lot of fun. So in honor of that, here we go. 84 proof Kentucky straight bourbon. I didn't see an age statement, so it's at least 4 years old as a NAS. It's very cherry on the nose, a very floral cherry, distilled, aged, and bottled in Kentucky. I know I did look this up, and this is Western Spirits Beverage Company owns this. I kind of forget the backstory on it, but they end up, I don't think that they produce their own stuff. I think, if I remember correct, and I might be wrong, so look this up if you're interested. Barton is who is distilling this. Yeah, it's very floral, cherry, light, sweet honey. Just a little bit of brown sugar in there. Just an easy, smells like a very easy sipping whiskey. On the palate, just the slightest ding of ethanol up front and a hint of barrel bitter to start with, but then it quickly moves into a very nice vanilla, caramel, kind of like a burnt brown sugar almost, caramelized brown sugar, very sweet, kind of in those middle notes, surrounded by different flavors of oak and caramel. That vanilla comes through. You get a nice light floralness to it, kind of a Buffalo Trace profile from like the mid palate through the finish. Just a touch of oak in the finish, but it's mostly a nice, sweet honey and vanilla with a touch of tannin in there. But man, talk about an easy sipping bourbon. You know what? Just for the one bottle alone to pay $18, I'd say perfect. Great sipping whiskey at that. Nothing really changed. It's just a very sweet bourbon. You can see it's kind of clinging to the glass. You got some decent fingers rolling in there. I'm liking it. In honor of the two pups, I'd have to say that works out really well for me. I can appreciate that just like I appreciated everything those dogs did for me. So, once again, sorry you guys had to endure my stories, but I'm just kind of reflecting a little bit on two really, really good dogs and a lot of memories, either by myself or with my hunting partner or other friends that I've taken out in the field with me. I always had three rules, we'll say. Rule number one, if you ever hunt with me and I have a dog in the field, don't shoot my dog. We're going to have some problems if that happens. Rule number two, don't shoot me. And, dog first, then me. Rule number three, try not to break any laws, but if you do, we'll figure it out. So, there you go. If you ever find yourself in the field with me, that's what we got going on. Man. Yeah, decent bourbon. I don't have much to say. It's right down home plate as far as bourbon flavor, bourbon profile. For $18, you can't go wrong. I'm going to finish this, and then we're going to crack open one of these 50 mils. See what 7 years. And the 7 years have a little bit higher proof to them. So 88 proof, so you bumped up, 4 points there. I'm going to give our glass a little bit of a rinse. But, yeah, here we are. We're at 14 minutes, almost 15 minutes already. So, I know you're enduring my stories, but, I appreciate it. And, you know what? go ahead and drop in the comments down below if you ever had to put down a good hunting dog. Any stories you want to drop down there, always appreciated. If you've ever had bird dog whiskey, go ahead, drop in the comments down below what your experience is with it, when you can find a bottle for it in your area. As I said, this gift pack was $18, and so far it's proving to be well worth it. Interesting. It smells like a completely different whiskey. It's very grape, big league chew, mixed with that Buffalo Trace rye, like MGP rye floralness. A little bit of honeysuckle. Kind of perfumey a little bit. Not finding any oak really, but mostly a light sweetness like honey or a light brown sugar. It definitely is increased in that perfuminess compared to this 80 proof or 82 proof. I don't believe that just has to be the different barrels and the different batches kind of coming together in that. I don't believe that 4 proof points is going to change that. And this is an NAS. I could not find an age statement on it, so it has to be at least 4 years old. Straight bourbon, 2 years old minimum. So, 4 to 7 years, I don't know. I think you're just getting a different part of the warehouse or something, and that's why you get much different noses here. On the taste, ooh, okay. Taste is much different. It's a bit watery thin up front for the first 2 or 3 beats. It picks up with a very, very sweet, sugary sweet middle, vanilla caramel, a hint of honey, and it finishes with just the slightest bit of oak tannin in there, just a slight astringent, bitter barrel impact in there, more so than what you pick in this. So it's kind of thin, a little bit viscous on the tongue, a little bit creamier in the mouthfeel, and it's just mostly sweet. Even though that the first couple of beats, there's just nothing there. It drinks like water. Yeah, first 2 beats, nothing, then sweet. You get a little bit of a cherry mix with now that time I got a bit more astringent bitterness to it. But really nice. Again, right down home plate as far as bourbon flavors are concerned. Nothing out of the ordinary. Really, really enjoyable. Really, really easily, easily drinkable. Sure, we'll go with that. I'm liking them. I'm liking them quite a bit. So, you know what? Here's to you dogs and to Doug, my hunting partner. Thank you for providing the middle years of my life with such enjoyment. So, hopefully as my little one grows up here in the next couple of years, we'll be looking at maybe getting another dog. But until then, we're going to enjoy the freedom of not having to kennel or worry about or take an animal with us, not having to pay extra money for a hotel room so we can bring the dog with us, and maybe doing some exploring of other hunting opportunities, maybe do some high country mule deer archery hunting, maybe start looking at wolves and bears and mountain lions a little bit. That might be something kind of fun. If the fur market ever rebounds a little bit, maybe we'll look at doing some fur hunting. I know the bobcat around here seem to be reasonably dispersed so that we could actually go out and have a chance at getting one. Same with the coyotes, so I might be able to pick up a couple $100 there. Maybe supply some of my whiskey habits a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see what the world brings. But as always, like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on BitchUte, Minds, YouTube. soon to be Rumble. I still haven't gotten around to uploading videos there yet, but I will put the entire collection up on Rumble when I get a chance, because I do have a channel there currently, Life and Whiskey, on Rumble. And I'm probably going to be spending most of my time on Rumble and BitChute. YouTube seems to be just a cesspool. Minds, I have no idea what's going on there. If you're following me on any of those platforms, check me out on some of the other platforms. And as always, greatly appreciate everybody who likes, comments, subscribes to the channel, follows along. Drop in the comments down below what you can find a bottle of Bird Dog straight bourbon whiskey for in your area. And as always, thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great day, and we'll catch you in the next video.